Happy New Year, everybody. I'm sitting here just about to record Spanish animal rights band Major Arcana in an interview. Both members are here. First off, can you introduce Major Arcana to the world, please?
All right, how you doing? Major Arcana, animal rights band. All our lyrics are about animal exploitation, the kind of problems that there are for the animals, basically, non-human animals, and everything that they go through. Really, we try to make people sensitive and conscious to the way that animals are treated. And they're basically used in just about everything we see around us. And we try and transmit that through our music.
Oh, that's cool. You've just been in the studios in London. Can you tell our viewers about that?
Yeah, we've just been in, we've just recorded an animal rights song in Abbey Road Studios, which is supposed to be the most important recording studios in the whole world. It was absolutely, well, it was a mental experience, absolutely amazing. So the song's been recorded in English and Spanish. I can't reveal the title of it yet till it's finished. And basically, there was like a double whammy for us because apart from recording in Abbey Road Studios, what we feel to be one of the first ever animal rights songs to be recorded there, as far as we know, we went with a guy called Aurelio Morata, who is mega he's quite a well-known producer. Apart from that, he was mega famous in the 80s and the 90s in a band called Los Rebeldes, the Rebels, and so he's a name in his own kind of in his own right, if you know what I mean. He's mega well known over here, and he's the one that's kind of setting this stuff up and supporting everything we're doing. So we're working with him. I can't believe it. He's actually recorded as well on the song, so in English and Spanish, and it's a privilege.
So, how did you get into animal rights? What was the reason for forming the band, and what was your involvement?
Right. Well, I haven't eaten meat for over 30 years now anyway. So since I was really, really young, I went vegetarian. And it's one of those things. I was very young, stroking a cow in the field, and you just make the connection. You just say, no, this is not right. So it started like that. But actually, I've always been a singer for many years, since I was like 17, 18 years old. And then one day it just kind of clicked. Actually, I was in the supermarket a couple of years ago, in the supermarket, just buying, the vegan food like you do, going through all the stuff. And Galero, the guitarist, was sitting outside the supermarket, and not far from the supermarket, there's a slaughterhouse, and he saw a big truck of pigs on their way to slaughter. And we're both musicians, and he just sat there and did some lyrics about these pigs because he just couldn't believe what he was seeing. He was like, oh God. And when I came out of the supermarket, he said, look, I've done these lyrics about some pigs, and the song's called Just Because I'm Not Human. And basically, I just went, oh my God, we've got to put some music to this. And that's how it started. And then after that, when people started writing to us saying, oh my God, I've gone vegetarian or vegan after seeing some of your videos, because we started putting videos to the music. We try and keep a lot of the graphic stuff out so non-vegans, non-vegetarians can watch it. So we try and keep it as low-key graphic as possible, but at the same time, try and get people to kind of, to pull at their heartstrings. So they kind of say, oh my God, this really is, it's not just a packet in a supermarket. This was an actual living being. So that's what we do with our music. That's how we started making music for animals. It was just literally some lyrics that got together outside a supermarket in around about 2012.
Okay, that's cool. So, since you've been doing all the protests, and obviously you've got publicity on TV, nationally, you've been on radios and stuff like that, you've received a lot of death threats and rape threats. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, basically what happened, because we're as much on the front line as far as activism goes as possible. We do more activism than we do music, if I'm honest. and then when we go to our activism, we're there and we try and record a lot of stuff to then bring it back to show people, especially outside of Spain, what's going on. But this particular time we set together, like we set up a video of the song La Tortura no es cultura, which means torture's not culture, which is an anti-bullfighting song. We uploaded it, I think it was last year, onto YouTube. In 3 days, it had over 50,000 hits. So we was like, wow, that's really good, because obviously we need people to see this, see what's going on over here. And of course, the bullfighting supporters weren't very happy about this. And all of a sudden, I started getting death threats, rape threats through Hotmail. Now it was like out of the social network, out of the social Facebook, Twitter and stuff like that. Now it was going really, really private. We also had our tyres slashed in Barcelona, and we had actually gone on a 2-day protest. When we came back, the car was wrecked, and basically the threats were really, really bad, death and rape. And also they implicated they were going to go after my mum as well. They knew where I lived. We had to move house. We had to have police protection on a few gigs for a while afterwards. The police were investigating to try and get the IP addresses and stuff like that, and it got a bit hairy, but I didn't know that this stuff had actually got out into the press. And then one day somebody phoned me at 8 o'clock in the morning and said, oh my God, your story's been on the news. I went, you're joking? No, it's been all over the radio. And then the next thing we know, over here in Barcelona, because bullfighting's banned in Catalonia, it's been banned for a good few years now, they started ringing us up from different TV stations and can you come on and tell us about the rape and death threats that you're getting from bullfighting supporters? So I did. I went on telly and I spoke about it, which I think helped a lot, because it died down. The threats kind of stopped after that for a little while. I mean, we still get a lot of farmers threatening and stuff like that, but as far as the bullfighting stuff goes, it kind of died down a bit. But I mean, I've been threatened on protests, and you know what it's like. You get threatened and stuff like that. But because they know I sing, basically the threats were like, you either stop singing or we're going to do this. It was quite graphic, and stop singing in favour of abolishing bullfighting, which makes it worse for me, because if they tell me to stop doing something, I'll do it all the more. So that didn't work. We just carried on composing, as you do, basically.
Oh, that's good. That's the way to do it, because you can't never back down to threats and stuff like that.
No way. It was quite hairy. I mean, I can't say I wasn't scared, because I was. Especially, I mean, the worst thing was, it's like Sod's Law, yeah? We was on stage about a week after it all went really, really mad, in this big plaza on an animal rights musical concert thingy. And this little old man, bless him, came up to the stage with his hat on. And all he wanted to do was congratulate us or get up on stage and sing a song. And I was thinking that this guy was dangerous, because he's come to the front of the stage. And I was like, oh no, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you. And then we realised that the poor man just wanted to come up. I think he wanted to request a song or something. But it was quite scary. It was like you're looking at everyone, you don't know who they are. And it was quite awful, really.
Yeah, that must be quite mad, you know. When you're going on stage with your band, or whether you're going on demonstrations, because recently you just said you had to take a crash helmet to a demonstration, which is like really, really bizarre.
In Salamanca in November, the threats came along, not rape and death threats, but the typical we're gonna smash your head in kind of stuff. And because I knew I was singing again in the plaza outside the bullfighting ring. Going back, I think it was the 3rd of November, just gone. And I said, right, this is it. There's going to be police protection there, but I wasn't going to trust, because it's obviously Salamanca. It's quite a heavily. There's a lot of bullfighting supporters in Salamanca. It's a big bullfighting things goes on there. So basically, I took a crash helmet with me. I haven't got a motorbike, so I had to borrow a crash helmet. But when we got there was so much. The police were there, surrounded us anyway, and it was okay. It was fine. So I didn't actually use it, but I took it anyway, just in case anything come flying at my head.
Wow, that's just like really, really mad.
Yeah, it's mad.
I mean,
I'm going to say this: it's not all men. I mean, sometimes the women can be more kind of. Threatening than the guys. I mean, obviously the guys, it's all the rape stuff and that, but some of the women are really, really aggressive, and it can get really, really scary because they're obviously things are getting worse for the bullfighters here because it is getting abolished bit by bit. It is really getting abolished. The plazas are empty. People are not going anymore. Kids don't want to. Teenagers don't want to go and see this stuff. They're like they'd rather be on their Wii or their MP3 players or whatever. And of course, what you got here now is the ones that are really trying to conserve bullfighting are getting more and more nervous. It's getting more and more violent now on the protests.
Yeah, it's I can imagine because like it's a huge tradition out in Spain, isn't it? You know, sort of all this bullfighting, all of a sudden people just aren't going, and they're like thinking, wow, that's our livelihoods, you know, that's our culture, but they don't realise their culture's barbaric, you know, it's sort of, they should have stopped years and years and years ago.
Yeah, you're right. And it's not just the bullfighting that especially like in Britain, we see bullfighting as in the ring with the matador and the bull. But the worst ones, if I'm going to say this, it sounds silly, but even worse, you've got the village ones, which are, some of them are illegal. And basically, it's like people come, they flock all around. It's like a secret society thing, yeah? And they've got these 2 or 3 days or sometimes a week of killing bulls every day, maybe up to 500 in some places in a week. And basically, they're in the middle of a village, so they'll set up a makeshift bull ring. And, I mean, there's a really barbaric one in Valencia in September where they get the children involved. So the children go in with baby bulls. And the idea is to spear the baby bull from one side to the other without touching the organs. And, of course, the baby bull thinks he's going to play with another child, so a human child. So he comes out really happy and dancing around. Of course, the child doesn't really want to do this, but it's pushed into spearing this bull. And it's just mad. They go from like 4 or 5 years old, the human babies, from 4 or 5 years old upwards to go there to kill baby bulls. It's just like, and then the tractor comes, literally, I've been there a few times on process on that one. The tractor comes along and picks up all the dead bodies and carts them all off. And you're like, wow, you know, kids, what are they installing in their minds? But it's a big thing over here. So there's a lot of money. Also, the traditional bullfighting, there were a little while ago, there was talk of where they're going to try and resuscitate it with making it kind of bond with the football world. So, you know, football over here is a really big thing. So they were going to try and resuscitate it by joining the two together, which is atrocious. But whether they're going to carry on with that, I'm not sure. But there was talk of that about a year ago. So it's nuts.
That's mad. Over in Spain, do you get things like that veganry thing, you know, that January vegan thing we're doing here? Do you get that in Spain?
No, I've only seen it on Facebook. I've only seen it in English-speaking language. I haven't seen anything at all about this going on in Spain. There's a few things going on. Like you get a lot like 269 and stuff like that going on over here, but I haven't seen the vegan thing, but hopefully it will come here, you know. I mean, do you know what I mean? Spain's coming on leaps and bounds because it's been quite behind in as far as animals goes. The last year it's coming on leaps and bounds, but it's taken a long time, but it's getting there. We've got more vegan and vegetarian restaurants than we had before. I remember going back 10 years ago, if you said you were vegan, they would give you some pasta and a bottle of tomato ketchup and tell you to get on with it. But now you've actually got like a lot more food stuff going on. Things are creeping into the general supermarkets. Soya milk has taken off a lot in Spain, which is really, really good. It seems to be quite kind of trendy at the minute. So, of course, we're trying to hopefully that will stay like it is. So the sales have gone down in dairy milk, that's for sure. Soya yogurts, people tend, even if they're not vegan or vegetarian, they tend to be buying them because they like the taste. But yeah, we haven't got as far as I know, we haven't got the vegan January thing here.
Okay.
So we'll have to sort that one out.
So, do you want me to send over 1,000 of my posters to stick around Barcelona?
It wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. You can come over and help me put them out as well.
I just come up with that poster today. It's
No, do you know what? It's probably quite a good idea. I've seen it. I've only seen it in the last couple of days. I've been a bit unconnected lately, but it's not a bad idea to try and get it going here as well. At all. It's a fantastic idea.
So you've got an album out. Where can people purchase the album from?
Well, the album, I mean, it's been around a while now. It's a Revolution one by Major Arcana. The new one will be out hopefully in about 3 weeks' time. So we're hoping to finish it as soon as possible and get that out. So it's going to be a new project, a whole new set of songs, a new atmosphere. Always animal rights, always promoting veganism. But the old one is still around. The people can either contact us, some songs on in English and some songs on there in Spanish, and or you can order it from the website if you're in Britain. But hopefully we've got this new one coming out pretty soon, so which I'm really, really excited about. So, but yeah, the old one's still around. It's just a case of getting in contact with majorarcana.com or the website, or going on Facebook, which at the moment, because Facebook keeps bringing our account down, you have to find Sharon Townsend. If you find the profile Sharon Townsend on there, you can get in contact with me, because our Major Arcana Facebook page gets banned on average about every 3 months. So I've been to about 9 already.
That's a bit like me and my Facebook pages. I've got like 4 accounts now.
I know, I keep seeing them. All different photographs. Oh dear.
Facebook won't stop me. The bastards.
I mean, what can we do? It's Facebook's Facebook, isn't it? You're right. If you put like anything to kind of like child pornography or whatever, all that kind of stuff on there, it might get taken down. But if you put out any animal stuff, straight away they delete your account. It's just nuts. They're not very animal friendly, from what I can see.
They're complete utter dickheads. I don't know who does their monitoring, but they're a complete narcissist. Something they've got to be. It's sort of some of the things they allow. And then
I know.
the animal, if
hunters if you're in defence of animals, they just take it down. And yet we've got in Spain at the moment, we've got 2 pages that are going really strong. That one's called I Hate Cats and one's called I Hate Dogs, and they're really violent. And everyone's been getting together, rallying around, trying to get these pages taken down because they're graphic. And Facebook won't do anything about it. They just won't do anything about it. They said it complies with the terms and conditions. I'm like, what? They're torturing animals on there, live, on videos and stuff like that, and they're not taking it down.
Yeah, they're bastards.
It makes you wonder what planet we're on, Crikey.
So, what plans have you got for 2017, apart from the album being released and obviously the video, the new song and stuff?
Yeah, there's... We've got that. We're hoping to come do a presentation in Camden Lock, hopefully in February, which would be really, really exciting. So I hope that we need to get a new video clip that should start recording in a couple of weeks' time. So we'll be involved in that, and of course as much direct action as one can withstand. So where we have to go, we go. We don't mind where we go. There's a concert going on here in the 21st of January in the old bullfighting plaza in Barcelona. One of the ones is in Barcelona, and hopefully we'll kind of be prepared for that on the 21st. So that'll be quite good. There's going to be like a marathon there to try and kind of sensitize people towards what's going on with the animals there. There's going to be a lot of stands and a lot of leaflet giving out and stuff like that in a place that's very, very, very they've got a high rate of dog fighting there, and they've got they still do it's not bullfighting as such, it's a kind of a fiesta where they do something similar, but it's not as hardcore as bullfighting, but they still make the bulls run around and stuff like that. So we shall be playing there, hopefully come out of that alive and kicking on the 21st. And there's quite a few things as it goes. There's quite a few concerts coming up for the summer. We're hoping to do a couple in France, in some animal rights stuff that we're involved in France, so that should be quite good. And like I said, everywhere I go, I wear my ALF pullover and promote as much direct action as possible, because I think there's a lack of people going out onto the streets and doing what they need to do. So that's mainly my objective, is to get people to get people involved. If you need to do a rescue, whatever it takes, and get out there and spread the word around. So that's like, I'll be hopefully mega involved in stuff like that throughout the spring.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it's the same here, getting people out to go and do stuff, I mean, I can understand why people
yeah,
don't do direct action anymore, because obviously with heavy penalties with prison and stuff like that. But
yeah,
like normal street protests, I mean, I'm in a group locally where there's 750 people, but if you go and do a
oh,
protest uh, about animal rights, you probably get it's the same 5, 6 people all the time.
yeah. You see the same faces every time you go on this stuff. I know it's the same here. It's exactly the same here. But see, we've got over here. We've got like, there's a lot of big organisations, and they do a lot of stuff on the social networks. But you don't get as much people kind of going out onto the streets and rallying around. So I just think that things need to be seen and heard as much as possible. And it is difficult. I mean, you can't even, in Spain, you can't put food down for a stray cat. I think it's about €1,200 if you get caught. So even something silly like putting some food down for stray animals here is banned. So we've got that as well to contend with over here. It's a bit harsh. I think it's more harsh here than it is in the UK. But what can you do? I mean, they try. When I was mega involved in the Occupy movement last year, the year before, well, this year I went as well. Basically, the fines can go up to 30 grand.
Wow.
But we all decided, yeah, we can't stay indoors. That's their way of blackmailing. So you just need to get as many people out there as possible. And I remember going back in 2012, we were 60 activists. That was nothing. 3,000 and odd people put their name down for being in Tordesillas, and only 60 of us turned up. So we was like, shit, where's everyone else? We were standing there. We were like, we just stuck out like a sore thumb. We was just in a small group of people with all these lunatics everywhere you looked. It's mad. But now there's quite a few people that go. I think there's about 200 or 300 people that manage to get there now every year on these kind of protests. But of course you need more and more and more, because that makes it more difficult for the authorities, because they have to then send out more police. They have to send out, like they did this year, helicopters, police on horseback. And you're like, it makes it more difficult for them to keep funding to get the protection there to stop the rioting going on. So that's the kind of thing that we try and get the message out as much as possible. Just get your ass out of the house and get down there, because the animals need you there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just want to see more and more action from animal rights. It's getting myself out as well with having a full-time job and stuff. Some people have that, families and stuff. So I could understand that to a point, but we do need to get out, because it does seem to be slowing down a little bit. Nothing seems to be happening.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we've got like the social movements like 15M and stuff like that over here. They're quite active. The ones that are going out, like the anarchists and stuff like that, they're quite active. And I was thinking, God, if we could get as many people in animal rights as involved as we've got in the anarchism side of it all, it would be fantastic, because they tend to go out more. They tend to be on the streets more than the animal rights activists. But I suppose it's like everything. It is scary, especially if you've got a mortgage. I haven't, thank God. But if you've got like a mortgage, a good job, and a wage where they can take that money out of your account every month. I don't know how it works in the UK, but over here, if you've got a fine and you've got a wage coming, they'll just automatically take that money out. So it is scary. So I haven't got a mortgage or a job, so I'm all right.
Do you want to say something in Spanish for your Spanish followers?
Yeah, hola, hola, hola. Aquí estamos en Street Voice con Hope. También Hope es una activista brutal, y aquí estamos, música para concienciar y acción directa del corazón, que es lo más importante por los animales.
And when you come to England next, are we going to go outside the Spanish embassy again?
Yeah. We will hopefully have more time to organise it better this time.
Yeah.
That was really fun. That was really good. You know, when the police came and their hairs were all messed up because they were probably thinking, oh no, they looked a bit kind of troubled. And they got there and they were really good with us, weren't they? And I'm not really a police fan as such, yeah, but they were really nice. And those police in the Spanish police in the Spanish embassy, they were pretty awful, weren't they?
Yeah.
They really had it for us.
I thought he was going to cry.
So did I. His lip was quivering. I thought he's going to burst into tears any minute now.
Anyway, is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, just really thanks for having us here on this. Hang on, let me just let Galero say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody.
He's sitting here next to me.
Like a robot.
Like a robot. Yeah, so not really.
Hello. Bye.
You say cling hello, cling bye. He is real, by the way. He's not a robot, really. How can we add anything? Well, basically, thanks for having us on Skype with you today. It's been great, and thanks for everything you do. Really, Hope, because I follow you a lot, and I think you're amazing. Basically.
Oh, thanks. The police don't hear.
No, just saying it. I really do think you're amazing. I'm not joking. I just think you're absolutely amazing. I think the stuff you do on with your blog and everything is absolutely amazing. Really good stuff.
So yeah, so thanks to Sharon and Major Arcana for doing the interview. Websites I will put up in the YouTube channel. This interview's going on, and please do check them out. Thank you, good night, and have a good 2017.